I don't know, but I feel me very crazy with my collection of Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels made the craze everywhere you are. Are you a toy car collector? You say me? Oh boy, when starts the engine of your Hot Wheels by Mattel? Me? 1968. In 1968, I started the engine of my collection of Hot Wheels by Mattel. Mattel today is the big industry of toys, biggest, very biggest industry, the first in the first place from the United States of America. What cool, what crazy date. John on June 13 in 1968, the 16th city red lines by Hot Wheels. To me, when I was 10 years old, I lived in Houston, Texas, and my daddy bought me the first edition of Hot Wheels Red Line and the racetrack too. And that date, when I was a kid, 10 years old, I felt me a real American race driver cars on my speedway, my owner speedway by Mattel Hot Wheels. Crazy, longer, super fast cars, and when I took put in my hands one of these beautiful toys from Mattel, the Hot Wheels and Matchbox 2, and I review every day, every year, every month my collection. I remember me when was my first time playing with my Hot Wheels by Mattel. This time was beautiful. More beautiful today in this life, when I am retired man and 62 years old, 62 years old. It's easy to say 62 years old. Today, when I put in my hands, when I touch, that's a beautiful box, hundred little cars ready to race on the speedway by Mattel Hot Wheel Racetrack. Complete, very crazy, and the supercharger Lancer and the lines on my racetrack. Well, that's beautiful time. I love it. I love, I love Mattel. I love the industry of toys. The industry of toys is around the constructors automobiles in the world, from United States, from Europe, and many countries today. The industry of automobile is the biggest industry in the world, the first place in the world. From Europe, 1840s. From United States, 1860s, 1907, 1940, 1958, 1940s, and then started the engine, the NASCAR, 1940s. In 1940s, start the engine NASCAR, National Sport Car. That's a beautiful race car by trademarks racing. Trademarks. No men's, no drivers, no race drivers. The trademarks of the United States of NASCAR. Chevrolet, Dodge, Chrysler, Ford, Buick, and Cadillac, and other trademark from the United Willis, Oldsmobile, and all the trademarks from the United States of America. 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, 2000s. In 2000, NASCAR is the first race racing place in many speedways. In many speedways. The Daytona 500, Talladega 400, and another speedway from NASCAR. NASCAR NASCAR is the first place in race cars on the speedways. The race drivers, we have Junior Johnson, Bobby Allison, Donnie Allison, Debbie Allison, Richard Petty, Lee Petty, Callie Petty, and Adam Petty. They are racing today, 2018. They are racing. They are the kings on the speedways. They are the kings. What about the fireball? What about the cracker fire and every race pilots on the race cars on the speedways? It's very cool. When I take in my hands, one Hot Wheel from Mattel, I remember me in Houston, Texas. 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. To me, it's very important to have in my hands one piece of the United States of America. One piece of the United States Camaro, 1967, Mercury Cougar, 1968, and the Mustang